We welcome you whether you feel weak and unsure emotionally, physically, financially, or strong and ready to take on the world. We welcome you whether you question your identity at the deepest levels or are confident you know exactly who you are. If you are curious, courageous, and committed to growth, you are warmly welcome to People's Church. Good morning. My name is Paulette Montague, and I'm one of the worship associates here at People's Church. We are joined in the sanctuary by Andrea Hawkins-Kamper, our Directory of Faith Formation, who will be preaching and leading the service today. Judy Michelin will be playing the piano, and Kathleen Mavety will be our hymn leader. Jackie Wiedeking and Brian Davis will be running the video and internet outreach, and our sound system extraordinaire is Bill Hart. And last but not least, we welcome our special musicians today, Kelly Montijo-Fink and Gabe, who will now begin our service with their prelude titled Peace.
I've been dancing in the flames to burn off this fear of change. I've been listening for your voice. I close my eyes to block the noise, 'cause it's your peace, peace you bring, oh, to me, oh, to me. It's your peace, peace you sing over me, over me. I've been wrestling in the night, fighting foes that just won't die. Wake myself up with a scream, but I don't remember what I dreamed. Still it's your peace, peace you bring, oh, to me, oh, to me. It's your peace, peace you sing, over me, over me. Yeah, I've been dancing in the flames. I know you hear me call your name. When you embraced me as a child, oh, you said, stay here with me for a while. 'Cause it's your peace, peace you bring, oh, to me, oh, to me. Yeah, it's your peace, peace you sing, oh, to me, over me.
Thank you, Kelly and Gabe. Good morning. Let's try that again, because I can't. Good morning. What a week, and what a beautiful day to be together, whether we are here together in the sanctuary or whether we are together via Zoom. However we come together, we are blessed. Call to worship this morning is something that I wrote several years ago on a morning much like this one. Blessed are we who gather here with open hearts together in this space. Blessed are we, the chalice lighters of resistance, justice, love, and faith. Blessed are we, the heretics, the outcasts, the walkers of our own way. Blessed are we, the border crossers, the refugees, the immigrants, the poor, the wanderers who are not lost. Blessed are we, the transgressors, the trespassers, the passers-by, the cause takers, the defiant, the compliant. Blessed are we, the hand extenders, the sign makers, the protesters, and the protectors. Blessed are we, the trans women, the trans men, the non-binary, the cisgender, the multigender, the no gender. Blessed are we, the friend, the stranger, the lonely, the hidden, the visible, the authentic. Blessed are we who rise in solidarity. Blessed are we who cannot. Blessed are we who do not. Blessed are we, for this is our beloved community. And this is all of who we are. Oh, not quite, my fault. I get all kinds of things confused. I'm missing things. Oh, no, that was right. No, that was a part of the opening words. Yeah. Pardon me, my script's off a little bit. Please join together and sing, and please join together with us in our opening hymn, number 1008, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place.
When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we trust the wisdom in each of us, every color, every creed and kind, and we see our faces in each other's eyes, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we tell our story from deep inside, and we listen with a loving mind, and we hear our voices in each other's words, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we share the silence of sacred space, and the God of our heart stirs within, and we feel the power of each other's faith, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place.
As we light our chalice this morning, let us speak aloud the words of our affirmation. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. We had originally planned to read a charming little story called Jacob's New Dress for y'all this morning. But due to the vagaries of the United States Postal Service, oops. However, thanks to the excellent suggestion of one of our fine folks here, instead we will get Dr. Seuss's Sneetches. Which echoes a similar principle as Jacob's New Dress, which is the first principle, just a little different. Now, the star-bellied Sneetches had bellies with stars. The plain-bellied Sneetches had none upon theirs. Those stars weren't so big, they were really so small that you might think such a thing wouldn't matter at all. But because they had stars, all the star-bellied Sneetches would brag, we're the best kind of Sneetch on the beach. With their snoots in the air, they would sniff and they'd snort. We'll have nothing to do with the plain-bellied sort. And wherever they meet some, where they were out walking, they'd hike right on past them without even talking. And when the star-bellied children went out to play ball, could a plain belly get in the game? No, not at all. You could only play ball, you could only play if your bellies had stars and the plain-bellied children had none upon theirs. When the star-bellied Sneetches had Frankenfurter games, Frankenfurter roasts, or picnics or parties or marshmallow toasts, they never invited the plain-bellied Sneetches. They left them out cold in the dark of the beaches. They kept them away, never let them come out. And that's how they treated them year after year. Then one day, it seems, while all the plain-bellied Sneetches were moping and doping alone on the beaches, just sitting there wishing their bellies had stars, strangers zipped up in the strangest of cars. My friends, he announced in a voice clear and keen, my name is Sylvester Monkey McBean. I've heard of your troubles, heard you're unhappy. I can fix that. I'm the fix-up chappy. I've come here to help you. I have what you need. My prices are low. I work at great speed. My work is 100% guaranteed. Then quickly, Sylvester Monkey McBean put together a very peculiar machine. He said, you want stars like the star-bellied Sneetch. My friends, you can have them for $3 each. Just pay me your money and help right aboard. So they clamored inside. The big machine roared, and it plonked, and it bonked, and it jerked, and it burped, and it bopped them about. But the thing really worked. And when the plain-bellied Sneetches popped out, they had stars. They actually did. They had stars upon theirs. Then they yelled at the ones who had stars at the start. We're exactly like you. You can't tell us apart. We're all just the same, you snooty old smarties. Now we can go to your Frankenfurter parties. Good grief, groaned the ones who had stars at the first. We're still the best Sneetches, and they are the worst. But now how in the world will we know if which kind is what, or the other way round? Then up came McBean with a very slight wink, and he said, "Things are not quite as bad as you think. So you don't know who's who. That is perfectly true, but come with me, friends. Do you know what I'll do? I'll make you again the best sneeches on beaches, and all it will cost you is $10 each." "Belly stars are no longer in style," said McBean. "What you need is a trip through my star off machine. This wondrous contraption will take off your stars so you won't look like sneeches who had them on theirs." And that handy machine, working very precisely, removed all the stars from their tummies quite nicely. Then, with snoots in the air, they paraded about and they opened their beaks and they let out a shout. "We know who is who, there isn't a doubt, the best kind of sneeches and sneeches without." Then, of course, those with stars got frightfully mad. To be wearing a star now was frightfully bad. Then, of course, old Sylvester Monkey McBean invited them into his star off machine. And of course, from then on, as you probably guessed, things got really into a horrible mess. All the rest of that day, on those wild screaming beaches, the fix-up chappie kept fixing up sneeches, off again, on again, in again, out again. Through the machines, they raced around and about again, changing their stars every minute or two. They kept paying money. They kept running through until neither the plane nor Starbellies knew whether this one was that one or that one was this one, or which one was what one, or what one was who. Then, when every last cent of their money was spent, the fix-up chappie packed up and he went. And he laughed as he drove in his car up the beach. They will never learn. No, you can't reach a sneech. But McBean was quite wrong. I'm happy to say that the sneeches were really quite smart on that day. That day they decided that sneeches are sneeches and no kind of sneech is best on the beaches. That day, all sneeches forgot about stars and whether they had one or not upon theirs. That would be the end. Thank you.
Our first reading is a blessing called Sanctuary by Jan Richardson. You hardly knew how hungry you were to be gathered in, to receive the welcome that invited you to enter entirely. Nothing of you found foreign or strange, nothing of your life that you were asked to leave behind or to carry in silence or in shame. Tentative steps became settling in, leaning into the blessing that enfolded you, taking your place in the circle that stunned you with its unimagined grace. You began to breathe again, to move without fear, to speak without abandon, the words you carried in your bones that echoed in your being. You learned to sing. But the deal with this blessing is that it will not leave you alone, will not let you linger in safety, in stasis. The time will come when this blessing will ask you to leave, not because it has tired of you, but because it desires for you to become the sanctuary that you have found, to speak your word into the world, to tell what you have heard with your own ears, seen with your own eyes, known in your own heart, that you are beloved, precious child of God, beautiful to behold, welcome and more than welcome here. And Kathleen will lead us in our next hymn. 1002, Comfort Me, in the blue hymnal, and it'll be on your screen.
Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Sing with me, sing with me, sing with me, oh my soul. Sing with me, sing with me, sing with me, oh my soul. Speak for me, speak for me, speak for me, oh my soul. Speak for me, speak for me, speak for me, oh my soul. Dance with me, dance with me, dance with me, oh my soul. Dance with me, dance with me, dance with me, oh my soul.
Thanks, Kathleen and Judy. That was beautiful. Our second reading is by Caitlin Cedar. Hope is not a bird, Emily. It is a sewer rat. Hope is not the thing with feathers that comes home to roost when you need it most. Hope is an ugly thing with teeth and claws and patchy fur that's seen some stuff. It's what thrives in the discards and survives in the ugliest parts of the world, able to find a way to go on when nothing else can even find a way in. It's the gritty, nasty little carrier of such diseases as optimism, persistence, perseverance, and joy. Transmissible as it drags its tail across your path and bites you in the rear. Hope is not some delicate, beautiful bird, Emily. It's a lowly little sewer rat that snorts pesticides like they were lines of candy and still shows up on time to work the next day, looking no worse for wear.
I knew at 7 years old that I was different. See, I had red hair and I didn't meet my first other ginger until I was 7. You thought I was going to say something else, didn't you? I also knew that when I was 7. I didn't have language to wrap around that, to really name it, to own it for about another 15 years. But I was able to perceive the other at 7. I was able to perceive the discontent, the discord, the dissonance at 7. And I grew up in the South. I mean, some folks would not consider Louisville, Kentucky the South, but if you've ever watched a Kentucky Derby on television or had the supreme privilege of being at Churchill's Downs on the first Saturday in May, go ahead and tell me we aren't the South. I'll wait. But you see, to be trans when I was 7 years old and to declare oneself as such in the South had a pretty good likelihood that you would end up at Muscatatuck, which was the Indiana State Mental Hospital, a mere 40 miles northwest of my home. Because that's what happened to a lot of kids my age who were like me. We were part of the untold stories, the invisible stories, the stories that were never told, never recorded, never heard, because prior to November 20th of 1999, nobody was collecting those stories. On November 20th, 1999, a pioneering trans rights activist named Gwendolyn Ann Smith and a small group of other concerned folks gathered together in Allston, Massachusetts to memorialize the murder of a trans woman named Rita Hester. Since then, their annual gathering has spread to over 30 countries, over 300 individual cities. And the reporting and the recording of the stories of the trans folks we have lost from October 31st to November 1 of each year has only become more and more robust. And with each passing year, those numbers in those lists of names get longer. And people who gaze upon them in horror and in grief. They cannot imagine that such things are happening in the world. Because they don't hear about it on the news. They don't hear about it on Facebook. They don't hear about it on Nextdoor, Twitter, or Instagram. The stories are there if you know where to look. I facilitated my first Transgender Day of Remembrance vigil in 2014, which was coincidentally the year that I came out. Whoops. As they say, competence is its own punishment, but in my case, it was prophecy, I guess. That year, we had 120 names on the list. And we put our 120th name on the list the day we had the vigil. I facilitated my last Transgender Day of Remembrance vigil in 2019, before the pandemic. That year, there were 388 names on the list from 23 different countries. And those are the ones that we have records for. But let's go back to that fateful day in 2014. Because in 2014, I was on my way to work. I worked, which was 2 years prior, 2012. I was on my way to work. I worked for a major international bank at the time. When NPR broke the story of Lana Wachowski's HRC Visibility Award acceptance and subsequent speech. I heard part of it in the car on the way in, and I listened to the rest of it as I ran my morning reports, my work headset in this ear, my phone headset in this ear, my phone carefully hidden underneath a folder so that nobody would know what I was listening to. Listened to her speech, listened to her stories in my second floor cubicle that Monday, like so many other Mondays, where my identity was still buried in fear, where I was still living as someone else, where I still sought solace in suppressing my light in the world, where I still believed to my core that I could never be truly who I was, that transition and authenticity were forever beyond my grasp. And so I listened to Lana's speech as tears fell down my face, as she talked about being torn between the girls and boys line in her Catholic school. Mine was public school, hers was Catholic school, but the stories paralleled. They kept flowing through her retelling of when she cried in a locked bathroom stall in the 8th grade. Continued as she told her story of writing a suicide note in a Burger King, and stopped when she said, and I quote, "Invisibility is indivisible from visibility." Let me say that again. Invisibility is indivisible from visibility. I listened to her speech 7 times before I went to lunch. Each time I listened to it, I felt named in it. As she talked about the balance of being seen and not seen, that indivisibility of visibility and invisibility, I felt that core pull, that core dissonance between content and context of my life. The regrets of having chosen comfort over quality. And as she talked and my tears fell, there was something else brewing. Something deep, something rising up out of the depths of my soul. Something truly unexpected. Hope. Hope is indivisible from visibility when you yourself are invisible. Hope comes from the visible ones when you yourself are invisible. Hope is a sanctuary given to those who have none, that you are expected to give to others. The hope that was rising in me was that maybe, just maybe, I hadn't thrown away my shot. That there was hope that there was maybe hope. That hope demands action, demanded to be heard. That hope demanded to be lived. And as that hope bit me in my butt like a sewer rat, the artificial constructs that I had so carefully built up around my soul crumbled. My tears of pain and regret became tears of joy. There was hope. There was a way. There was a dream named Andrea, who was one step closer to reality. The hope born that day is, in fact, a sewer rat of hope. And it carried me through every day since. It has carried me through the disastrous election night of 2016. It carried me through my stroke and double bypass. It carried me through so much trial, tribulation, and triumph that now I trust in the hope that by living my truth, I pay the way forward for other trans folk to live theirs. Because I am not a statistic. I am not a name read at a Transgender Day of Remembrance vigil. Not yet. I am not one of the 60% who successfully completed a suicide attempt. I am not one of the 2 in 3 that never made it to their 30th birthday. I am a transgender woman who has hope that doesn't end when bigoted politicians try to tell me which bathroom I should urinate in. I am someone, just like Lana, who is uncomfortable with the simplicity by which the transition narrative is used to exploit and uphold this binary gender narrative I am neither comfortable with nor supportive of. Hope, like all of these complicated, nuanced stories of gender and expression and lived truths of authenticity, is powerful. We talk about quilts and bags and baskets, but they're all made up of vibrant colors woven together. Strength in diversity. Hope is powerful because it is not singular. Hope is a sewer rat because they are resilient and everywhere. Hope gives us courage to rewrite the story of us. Hope gives us faith that we are loved, that we are cherished, that we are perfect, and that we are that which we are. Holy, sacred beings, wonderfully created, perfect. Hope gives us faith that we will rise beyond a list of names read once per year. Hope gives us faith that there will be no more names to be read. And until then, blessed are our honored dead. Blessed are their names. Blessed are their lives. Hail the traveler, hail the song. May their memory always be a blessing. Selah.
Wait.
Thank you, Andrea. It's come time for the offering now. There are 3 ways to give, which are shown on your screen. You can send a check, go to the website peoplesu.org and look for the Donate Now tab. Use the Vanco mobile app on your smartphone. For those here in church, there's an offering plate available as you exit the sanctuary. Now we're invited to listen to Kelly and Gabe play their interlude, Lean on Me.
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow. But if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride if I have things you need to borrow, for no one can fill those of your needs that you don't let show. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'd understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. If there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry, I'm right up the road and I'll share your load. If you just call me, lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on.
you're less than whole. How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
If you would join me in a spirit of meditation or prayer, however you connect. Most holy God, divine source, known by so many names and none. Gathered we are, such diverse ways, lifting up such diverse things, carrying such diverse things into this space and into this gathering. We lift up those that are suffering under the effects of long-term COVID, those we have lost due to COVID. We lift up all of the trans folks, all of the folks under the trans umbrella, making their way through this world. We lift up everyone dealing with food insecurity and housing insecurity at this delicate and dangerous time of the year. And we lift up everyone going through this time of the year alone. For all of the unspoken things, the unknown things, for all of those concerns and joys and triumphs and tribulations, for all of the sewer rats of hope that are coming home to roost when we need it most. We lift them up, we give thanks. We say, Amen. Was extinguishing? Okay. Join together as we say the words for a chalice extinguishing, please. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Yes, our postlude will be by Kelly and Gabe. I believe they are doing Amazing Grace.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious was that grace that appeared the hour I first believed. So gracia maravillosa me ha salvado a mí. Estuve perdida inmensa y yo fui ciega y ya vengo.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Thus the old saying goes, except that two of our ashes to ashes, that two of our dust to dust, hope is not in ashes or dust. Hope is not, or hope is in the moment of now. Hope is in you. Hope is in me. Hope is in us. Hope is us. Hope is the love between us. Hope is made of stardust, itself a carpet of infinite, eternal gems glittering upon a midnight blanket of dreams. It empowers love. Hope empowers hope. It empowers us to say thanks for this one breath. Thanks. Oh, gentle people, go in love, in peace, and in hope. Selah.